And I refuse to sign it, and I will not sign it. And I'm waiting for them to take me to court. I will meet them there. One, we have to verify the authenticity of some of these ID cards. How they got it. Because the law is very clear. Right now, as we speak, there is a particular country in West South Africa which is debating a law to ban foreigners owning land. Right now, you go to Sierra Leone here. You cannot own land in the urban area as a foreigner. We have been too cheap. We have been giving away this country. For too much we gave away. And we need to put a stop to that. If not, our children, our great-grandchildren will have nowhere to live. They will be enslaved in this country. And it's high time Gambians to wake up to that danger that is looming, that's coming. Taking our land, selling it cheap to these people, only to fence it, to make millions out of it, or use it over us. We have to put a stop to that. It's not a popular statement with some people, but I think we need to send this signal across.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you wanted Mr. Ture to answer a particular question concerning the... Yes, please.
Yes. As highlighted by the Honorable Minister, we all know that the policy had been very, very inclusive and participatory. We had special sessions with GFD family, that's the Gambia Federation of Disabled, commonly known now as differently able people now. That's the new terminology. Yes. Yes. And really access to land, the access to land had been an outcry everywhere, from Basse to Kartong. And the policy had been very, very clear in that. And there are a lot of recommendations in the policy that will ensure that marginalized people groups, like people living with disability, women and youths, have access to land. In fact, wherever government is going to allocate land now, when the policy comes into being, a special quota have to be given to these particular groups. Youth, women, and people living with disability have to have a quota in the allocation. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Protect them.
Before we...
Mr. Minister, I want to recognize a brother of mine, a former minister, a former secretary of cabinet, who have served this country outstandingly. And all in the name of Mr. Abdullah Sallah. Mr. Sallah, let people see you.
Thank you very much. We are pleased to have him. It's a great honor. Before we go to the final set of questions, I have two questions from the diaspora. The diaspora are watching this program. The program is currently being shown live on at least 5 or 6 channels. Now, the first question, perhaps one of your members can answer it. What policies and plans does your ministry have in ensuring that lands are reserved for public parks for use by our people, particularly the young ones? The second question is, there are no shortage of good policies in the Gambia. What is, however, missing is effective actualization of the policies. What plans do you have to make sure that those who are entrusted with implementing these policies are held to account in the exercise of their duties? These are two very critical questions.
I'll answer the last one, and the other one I will get them to answer. First of all, we realize that the cadre of staff we have at the moment, managing land and land usage, need to have a new vision, a new way of thinking, and a new sense of direction based on public demand for the management of land. And that's why we approach the World Bank to recruit new cadre of people to be educated, to be given the skills to come and take over the management of land in this country. While we appreciate some of those that are still manning land, the efforts they've done, we still believe there is a lot of room for improvement in the management of land in the Gambia. And that's why it is important. Yes, you can have a policy, you can have a strategy, but if the implementer does not have the skills and the will and the ability to do so, you fail. And that's why we are trying to address these things, to make sure our young graduates who have proven, who have shown evidence that when supported, they would excel, to entrust them the responsibility to take over the issue of management of land and usage in the Gambia.
Thank you. What about public parks?
Public parks have become very important for this government. And that's why the recent demolition was centered on public areas that have been taken over by individuals, sold illegally, and given away to people. Without parks, our youths, our children will have nowhere to recreate. And that is part of development. People's welfare, their level of happiness, their ability to go somewhere and recreate, march together, stay together, dance together, is part of development. And that is element that is missing. It's not only about building story buildings. It's about also creating an atmosphere where they can meet, they can gather, they can exchange, they can dance, they can merriment, and be part of a society that's a happy society.
Thank you very much. Final set of questions, one from this end and one from that end. I'll take the lady. Unfortunately, I'll not take more questions. One lady, and do we have anybody on that side? And then Balanding.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Mariama N.K Bah, a third-year political science student. My question reads, Honorable Minister, how do you plan to involve the youth and women in regional governance and land decision-making processes? Thank you.
Balanding, finally.
Good evening, Honorable. My name is Balanding Jata, a second-year student, Diplomacy and International Relations, UT. Thank you. Thank you. Civil Service University. Okay. How will the new land policy ensure fair and transparent land allocation for ordinary citizens?
Very good question. All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. You can answer that.
You see, as I said, the issue of land allocation has to come from the hands of a minister. It has to go back to professional bodies that will determine who should be given and not the politician. If you give it to the minister, the crisis we face today in Bruce B. Salaji will be the same thing. When the Land Administrative Board, Allocation Board was doing it prior to the coming of this constitution in 1997, we never had this problem. These were experts from various walks of life who will sit down and determine who should be given this piece of land, who should not be given. But if you now leave it in the hands of the minister, single-handedly to determine who should get and who should not get, that becomes a problem. The fact that we are abolishing that would address your problem. So that would, I believe 99% of the problem will be addressed.
Thank you. Yes. And then the question was about how do you involve young people in local governance decision-making and land issues?
I'll give Sisao to answer that question.
Thank you very much. I think during your presentation, Honorable Minister, you did talk about the fact that the Local Government Act is being reviewed. And essentially what we try to achieve through the revision is to not only to empower the councils, but also the youth involvement in the local governance is also something that is going to be critically embedded in that act. So in a sense, progressively, we are trying to review the Local Government Act in order to empower the councils, but also to improve communication between the ministry and the councils, but equally to involve the youth participation in the local governance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That comes very close to the end, but before we end, I'd like to give you 3 to 4 minutes in Wolof, just to summarize what we've discussed here today, but also any message that you have for the public, Honorable Minister. In Wolof, please.
Can I use it?
Yes.
maa ngi gërëm ñëpp sant leen bu baax kontaan lool ci ministre bi ak ministère ak liggéeykatam yi ak suma ministre yi ak suma liggéeykat yi fi toog yépp di gërëm ñëpp ñi fi teew bàyyi seen soxla ñëw ministre yi fi ñëw ku mel ni Baboucar Boy mel ni Abdou Diop mel ni docteur Mr Abdoulaye Sall ak ñeneen nekk ci mbooloo mi kilifa yu mag xàmmee naa leen fii ñun amuñ dara lu réew mi réew bu tuuti bii lañ amul fenn fuñ mun a dem bon nañ def lépp lu ñooy mun a def ñu gis ne suñu réew mi manage nañ ko wel ñun dinañ dem am na ñu fi nekkoon dem nañ waaye ba tey réew maa ngi fi bu leen nangu ñun politiciens si tax ngeen di reyante di xeexante bu leen nangu ñun use leen ngeen nekk ci mbedda yi di tampongante li am solo ci réew boo fa nekkee demal bax bu set boo eewoo ne tey damaa liggéey am dara tey dinaa liggéey am lu ma yóbbul suma yaay lu ma yóbbul suma jabar lu ma yóbbul suma sista mbaa lu ma yóbbul suma doom ku nekk bu xëyee na nga dem uti loo am te lépp looy am ko ci lu wér dafa am solo ci doomi aadama te ñun dëkk bi dafa tuuti te dañ fi dalal gan yu baree bare suñ biir te gan ñooñu bari nañ fi doole bañuñ gañ ku bugg a gan lañ waaye terewut tam ñun ñi moom réew mi ñu jublu si liggéey balaa gaay ji liggéey bi nangu suñu réew mi suñ loxo waaye nga eew tiim baraada ataaya doo xëy doo gontu jànguloo métier nekk social media di saaga wante di xasante utuloo loo am dëkk ci blackmail nit ñi du la yóbbu fen gannaaw la lay delloo Adama Barrow du jox kenn dépasse Ousseynou du jox kenn dépasse Amat Bah noonu keneen noonu yow yaay liggéey lu jox sa dépasse sa njaboot di leen dundal bon li am solo ku nekk jëlal résolution ne su ma eewoo tey I will get something for my family ma xëy liggéey ko dama am lu ma seetlu ci réew mi lu daw yaram la man bot bu set man maay dem jëndi jën tànje man maa daan duggi marché jox suma njaboot ñu togg gis naa léegi su ma demee tànje bu njëkka Gambien si ñoo daan téye puus puus bi ma ñëw ekkati jox leen ñu yóbbu gis naa léegi doom yi beneen bëgguma tudda réew yi ñoo koy def ñu ngi liggéey nothing less than $5,000-6,000 a day dem leen fa tànje tey ngeen seet ñan ñooy téye puus bi du ma tudda turi réew ngeen seet ñiy téye puus puus bi boo jëndee jën pour dem sa oto ñan lañ tey suñ doomi Gambia yi 95% génn nañ ci jigéen ñi ñooy waas jën yi fi mu ne take over nañ that role ñun suñ moromi góor yi ñu nga taxaw fële di weerante soo demee di nga fekk jigéen ñu nga waas jën bu ñu waasee ba pare du Gambien see koo téye léegi de dem leen foofu li maa wax dem ngeen gisal ko seen boppa tey soo buggee maçon Gambia fii amuloo ko fi ñeneen dëkk yi ñoo fi nekk maçon di aan $700 a day $600 to $700 a day suñ doomi réew yi toog si banta bàyyi di waxtaan di xuloo di saagawante lebres tey pour tabax $300-400 soo ko soxlaa doo ko am réew du demee noonu foog ñu liggéey ñu jàpp te nañ bàyyi bañante bi soxorante bi defarante lu bon amul njëriñ ku nekk na bugg a moromam bugg a réew mi ñu liggéey ñun suñ time bu jeexee rek dañoo dem tey mun na nekk ay léegi ñu jógee fi ngeen toog waaye na fekk na ñu ngi bokk a yéene defar suñu réew maa ngi gërëm ñëpp gërëm consultants yi gërëm
jërëjëf honorable minister salon head bi thank you very much everyone senior government officials here ministers advisors peer permanent secretaries DPSs governors directors but particularly a big thank you to the honorable minister Hamat N.K Bah and his entire team. Please a round of applause for him and his team, his PSs and DPS. They did a fantastic job, outstanding. Members of the press. But today I cannot end this program without singling out someone who I need to thank specially. That is Haruna Drame. What we see is the production. He does everything behind the scenes. He's been helping the ministry since the onset. Without Haruna, I don't think the Ministry of Information would be doing what we are doing. So Haruna, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate it. And thank you to students from the University of the Gambia. Thank you everyone, the media, all those who are watching at home. Next week, I think on the 25th is our next Mansa Kunda if all goes well. And we'll have the Ministry of Fisheries as well. That is Honorable Musa Drame to discuss about the fishing sector. Mbadingol mbaten to lambal jela bidung na Mansa Kunda danta janne milyalon ko bi wolendi ma programme auto wala media household ni miyalan ko wolle bijang minister ni director sol ni permanent secretary sol ni DPS sol baby jambi and senior government officials mbalten to lambal jela mba falale ko Mansa Kunda biadata bake bari be min fango tentula mbani mbaralo minister fanfongoti honorable Hamat N.K Bah anala timomol be ye do ko kenda bake be katani banko dingol la ala ministre be mon do ko si falella mbokay di len sante di len gërem di len wone Mansa Kunda bi jeexna tay di gërem ñep nak ñep ñu ñew ministre yi directeur si advisor si PSC DPSC ak ñi nga xamne ñoo joggé ci université bi ak képp ko xamne ñoo na fité pour ñoo téwé programme bi waaye ki ñoo gën a gërëm di ko jaajëfal mooy minister of lands mooy ki nga xam ne moo yore mbiri suuf si honorable Hamat N.K Bah ak ñim àndal def nañ liggéey bu rafet ñëw nañ fi wax ñu li ñoo def kon tey kumpa bi nekkatu fa si moom li moo liggéey di jaajëfal ñëpp nag ba ñu jox leen dig daje ba beneen yoon jërëjëf